Fundamentals of Hindu Faith, Part 10. It held that a male member of any of the three higher classes should first become a chaste student, brahmacharin, then become a married householder, grihastha, discharging his debts to his ancestors by begetting sons and to the gods by sacrificing, then retire as a vanaprastha, with or without his wife, to the forest to devote himself to spiritual contemplation, and finally, but not mandatorily, become a homeless wandering ascetic, sannyasin. The situation of forest dweller was always delicate compromise that was often omitted or rejected in practical life. Although the householder was often extolled, some authorities regarding studentship, a mere preparation for this ashrama, went so far as to brand all other stages inferior. There were always people who became wandering ascetics immediately after studentship. Theorists were inclined to reconcile the divergent views and the practices by allowing the ascetic way of life those who were entirely free from worldly desire owing to the efforts of restrained conduct in the formal lives. Even if they had not gone through the traditional prior stages, the texts describing such life stages were written by men for men. They paid scant attention to the stages appropriate for women. The Manusmriti 100 CE laws of Manu, for example, was content to regard marriage as the female equivalent to the initiation into the life of a student, thereby effectively denying the student age to life of girls. Furthermore, in the household stage, a woman's purpose was summarized under the heading service to her husband. What we know of the actual practice, however, challenges the ideas that these patriarchal norms were ever perfectly enacted, or that women entirely accepted the values they presupposed. While some women became ascetic, many more focused their religious lives on realizing state of blessedness that was understood to be at once this worldly and expressive of a larger cosmic well-being. Women have often directed the cultivation of auspicious life-giving force, which is called Shakti, they possess to the benefit of their husbands and families. But as an ideal, this force has independent status. The history of Hinduism. The history of Hinduism in India can be traced to about 1500 BCE. Evidence of Hinduism's early antecedents is derived from archaeology, comparative philosophy, comparative philology, and comparative religion. Sources of Hinduism, Indo-European sources. The earliest literary source for the history of Hinduism is Rig Veda, consisting of hymns that were composed chiefly during the last 2 or 3 centuries of the second millennium BCE. The religious life reflected in this text is not that of the contemporary Hinduism, but of an earlier sacrificial religious system referred by the scholars as Brahmans or Vedas, which developed in India among Indo-European speaking people. Scholars from the period of British colonial rule postulated that this brand of related group of nomadic and semi-nomadic tribal peoples originally inhabiting the steppe country of the southern Russia and Central Asia brought with them the horse and chariot and Sanskrit language. These scholars further arrived These scholars further averred that other branches to these peoples penetrated into Europe, bringing with them the Indo-European languages that developed into the chief language group now spoken there. These theories have been disputed, however, and the historical and homeland of Indo-Europe continues to be a matter of academic and political controversy.